May your grace and mercy, joy and peace and understanding be with us tonight. Give us what we need tonight to accomplish the matters of the citizens of Montgomery, Alabama. Montgomery, Alabama is built on a strong foundation that encompasses equality and compassion and determination. So may the leaders and the citizen work together as Montgomery thrives to the future. My prayer for the plans of nonviolence, plans for reconstructions, plans for revitalization, and all plans, Lord, be taken with enthusiasm and anticipation of success. May our God-given talents be used to help others. God, please grant us all those that hands that touch each plan be strengthened. And may your guidance be with each of us as we open up this meeting tonight in prayer. It's in your precious Son, Jesus' name, that I ask of you. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council and citizens, I would like to ask for a moment of silence as we honor Council President Pro Tem, Mr. Glenn Pruitt, and the loss of his father on this evening. Just bow with me for a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, I'd like to have approval of the September 17, 2024 work session minutes. Need a motion?
So moved.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
8 with 1 abstention.
Approval of the September 17, 2024 regular council meeting minutes. Need a motion?
So moved.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
8 with 1 abstention.
All right. Mayor Reed?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good to see all the citizens. I hope everybody had a good weekend and happy October 1st. Officially now in the fourth quarter of the year, so we're looking forward to ending the year on a positive note. I want to thank all the council members for their work they've been doing around the city and their respective districts in a lot of areas that we'll touch on here in just a second. But Mr. President, I want to start by recognizing a significant trend in our city's development as Montgomery is rapidly becoming known as a hub for technological innovation. This transformation is thanks to the hard work of our city employees and the valuable partnerships we forge with members of the community. Speaking of innovation, Montgomery's selection as one of 25 cities nationwide to participate in the prestigious Bloomberg American Sustainable Cities Initiative is a testament to our forward-thinking approach. This honor from Bloomberg Philanthropies highlights our city's resilience and determination to create a sustainable future for all of our residents, regardless of zip code. It comes at a time when cities everywhere, including ours, are facing the growing impact of climate change. We've seen some of that in the footage from parts of Georgia, including Augusta, which as of yesterday was still without power and internet service completely, to areas in North Carolina that traditionally don't get impacted by floods. So with this devastation brought on by Hurricane Helene fresh in our minds, we're reminded that climate change is not just an isolated issue. It affects every aspect of life, from the economy to infrastructure and even to the well-being of our communities. Through the Bloomberg Initiative, Montgomery is well positioned to address these challenges. We receive multi-year support and technical assistance to tailor climate solutions to our unique needs. This effort will allow us to take advantage of new opportunities from federal initiatives like the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, the Inflation Reduction Act, and the American Rescue Plan, offering access to more than $400 billion in funding. Our participation means we will have dedicated innovation staff working hand in hand with City Hall, our community partners, and residents. These experts will provide the skills and knowledge to promote equity and create opportunities that strengthen Montgomery for generations to come. This is just one more step toward building a Montgomery that is resilient, prosperous, and inclusive. Now turning to an equally important matter, that of public safety. I'm pleased to give the council an update on our ongoing search for Montgomery's next police chief. The search goes beyond simply filling a position. It's about finding the right leader to shape the future of law enforcement in our community. We are focused on safety, trust, and accountability for all residents. We currently have 44 highly qualified applicants, and the selection process is well underway. We will continue to involve various perspectives, including a committee of law enforcement professionals, key stakeholders, and community leaders, ensuring that this critical decision is informed and thorough for the entire department as well as our city. Our goal is to have a final selection in the next couple of months, and we remain committed to finding someone who embodies transparency and the levels of community engagement that are needed. Now, we've got new parking kiosks coming in place. In keeping with our commitment to modernizing Montgomery, I'd like to highlight a recent infrastructure update. We've launched new parking kiosks across the city. Residents and visitors can now experience a more efficient and flexible parking system, particularly in our busy downtown entertainment district. These kiosks not only accept coins, but also allow for Visa and MasterCard payments, offering greater convenience as you explore all that Montgomery has to offer. This update is another step forward in making Montgomery more modern, accessible, and to match the level of interest that we have from so many around central Alabama, the state, and the nation as a whole. As Mayor of Montgomery, it is my honor to recognize and celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. This month spans from September 15th through October 15th, is a time when we come together to acknowledge the profound impact the Hispanic and Latino communities have had on our city and beyond. Montgomery is a city built on diversity and unity, and the Hispanic community is an essential part of that fabric. Whether through leadership in business, education, culture, or public service, the contributions of Hispanic Americans have shaped the progress of our city in very meaningful ways. Their stories, traditions, and values enrich the culture of Montgomery, making us stronger and making us more vibrant as a community. Hispanic Heritage Month is a reminder that our city's greatest strength lies in its diversity. It's a time to celebrate the heritage, achievements, and resilience of the Hispanic and Latino community, while also recognizing that our collective future depends on ensuring opportunity, inclusion, and equity for all. As we honor this month, let's continue to build a city where every voice is heard, every contribution is valued, and where we take pride in the cultural richness that defines all of us. We must do what we can to ensure Montgomery remains a place where diversity is not only celebrated, but embraced as a source of progress. Now, before concluding, there's one other matter I'd like to address, and that's a heartfelt proclamation for Chip Hill. As many of you know, yesterday marked Chip's last day as my Chief of Staff. Chip has not only been a great part of our administration, but a trusted friend and partner for many, many years. Since 2020, Chip and I have worked side by side, navigating Montgomery through the pandemic, advancing economic development, and working on public safety. His dedication has been instrumental in our city's progress. But my relationship with Chip predates his role as Chief of Staff, going back to working for Lieutenant Governor Jim Folsom Jr. many, many years ago. So beyond his time with me, Chip's service to Alabama politics has been remarkable, working for governors and many, many other political leaders. His experience, wisdom, and strategic insights have made him a valuable advisor, not just to me, but to many others across the state, working with our Chamber of Commerce, working with our state leaders, and working with many of you on the council and in the community. He has left an indelible mark on Montgomery, having played a pivotal role in 6 major economic development projects that have reshaped our city. Chip, I want to personally thank you for your unwavering commitment and tireless work ethic. Your legacy of service and progress will continue to inspire us, and Montgomery is undoubtedly better because of your contributions to it. We won't talk about your baseball contributions way back then, but the other contributions. So we wish you and your family the best as you embark on your next chapter, and we'll always be grateful for your partnership, and we look forward to continuing the relationship in a different role, in a different matter, in a different way to move Montgomery and the river region forward. Thank you so much, and come on up so we can grab a picture real quick with the council. All right?
I asked for one small point of privilege, and no, I'm kidding. I want to say the following: that I'm so grateful for tonight, Mayor. Those words, beyond generous. But it's been my honor. It's been my honor. I mean, how many times do you get a chance to come back home and serve in a position of leadership where you grew up? And I'm just so proud of that. I'm so proud of that. Little things like one thing we were talking about the other day is that we spent half our life at the Goodwin Community Center, and I'm so excited that we're building those community centers back. And those are things that we're going to be able to look to in the future. And I did want to just say this, that as long as we've got economic development projects coming of the magnitude that we have coming, this city's on the move. International companies don't move to dying cities. I wanted to say that, and I also wanted to say this. To all our public safety professionals, it's been an honor to work with you directly every step of the way. And I just hope you'll hear one last time, as I've said to each of you, every gathering that we've had, the public safety experts in this community are not on the internet. They are in this room. The public safety professionals are in this room. And we trust you to lead us and protect us and guide us under the leadership of this administration, as we've proven by investing more in public safety than any mayor in the history of this city. But right now what I want to do is I'd like every city employee to please stand, everyone that's in. And I know they're not all in here, but you need to understand how hard these folks work. And we all need to be proud, and if we don't do it often enough, tonight on my time, can we show our appreciation for all the employees of Montgomery? And I'm not just saying that because I hired most of them. Two quick things. Just wanted to say, even though she's not here, y'all know my assistant, Denitra Shannon, who is, without question, a remarkable individual. And she is the glue. And I will not ever be able to show enough appreciation to her and what she has meant. She's become a member of my family. So when y'all see Denitra, I'd appreciate it if you would let her know that you appreciate her. And Mr. President, if you'll allow me, I'd like to end this moment by saying something that you often say when you end a phone call or a meeting or an email. And I'd like to say it to all of you. We together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hill.
That concludes my message. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Oh. You have some? Okay. All right, Montgomery Fire and Rescue, presentation of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. And I really thought y'all came in to support Chip. I forgot there was next thing down here.
Good afternoon. Thank you for allowing us the time to present something to Mrs. Carroll that's kind of heavy on my heart, the MDA collection for this past year. Since 1998, Montgomery Fire Rescue been involved in actually doing boot drives. The first time in 1998, we collected $65. And so this year brings us about $40-something thousand, less than $2 million since that time. So it's very special to me. I love giving back. As in leadership, we have to inspire to give back. It's more than just answering the suppression calls and the EMS call. It's giving back to helping out. My passion comes from an individual that grew up in my hometown of Fort Deposit, Alabama. He played football at the Alabama State University. His name was Bruce Porterfield. 4.0 student, fullback, running back for Alabama State. Went to try out for some professional team, I understand, and found out he had some issues and problems. And he developed or diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. And that was one of the hardest things to see Bruce go through those things. I think Bruce was the longest living, I believe, person suffering from the Lou Gehrig disease. So each and every year, my passion is about finding a cure. So hopefully one day I don't have to stand here and talk about collecting, because that means that we'll find a cure. So I'm gonna cut it off right there. Mr. Mayor, I appreciate you allowing us to do the things we do. I appreciate the citizen. I know at Walmart and Sam's, coming and going, that you put your $20 in there. We'd like for you to up that to $100 in the future. But I appreciate you doing that, because you make it possible for us to present this check here today. So I'm gonna pass it on to you next. Okay.
Hi, I'm Chief Bozeman, Director of Training. Each year, we start getting prepared for muscular dystrophy boot drive in January. And, you know, it's a matter of creating a schedule and going out to our vendors in the city of Montgomery and asking them for permission to collect money in front of their establishment. So I want to thank all the vendors who took part in that this year. And they're really partners of ours each and every year. So this year, at 14 weeks of collection, we collected $81,518.67, and Chief Morgan will present Ms. Holly Carroll with a check at this time. Our engine company, Engine 3 from Carmichael Road, was our highest collector. They collected $4,756.22, making them our highest collector.
Okay, before we leave, again, my name is Holly Carroll. I'm the Director of Firefighter Partnerships for MDA. I cover the Southeast, so I cover several states in the Southeast. And I just want to say thank you. I want to thank you to Montgomery Fire and Rescue for your passion, your support every year. You go above and beyond, not just what you do every day, but you go above and beyond to help families in need. So let's everybody give them a round of applause for what they do each and every day, but then what they do for you. Not only did they raise, and you helped them raise $81,000 this year, they are again, as they have been for several years, the recipient of our Golden Axe Award for #1 in the state of Alabama for 2023. And a little secret, I think it'll be 2024 coming up. So be ready for that. And they also are number 19th fire department in the country. So you should be very proud of that accomplishment, and we're very proud and blessed to have your support. And I just want to say thank you. So thank you for sharing your story about your passion and for ALS. I also have a lot of family and friends that have had ALS, and I have family that have muscular dystrophy. So besides just working here, I'm very near and dear to my heart too. So I just want to thank you, not just from a representative MDA, but also as a family for Muscular Dystrophy Association. So thank you for your time, and thank you again for all that you do, guys.
Hey, we take care of MDA October 1. October is the month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I know it has affected my family over the years. I helped pledge $500 of my own money to our MDA MFR Cancer Fund. And I would like to challenge everyone to find a charity of your choice and match it with $500. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All right. Any special committees report? All right. I want to make one presentation to the city of Montgomery with the mayor and the council taking a picture. This past weekend, the Major League Baseball Players Alliance came into the city of Montgomery on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, did some showcases, exposed some young people out at Patterson Field. If you haven't been out at Patterson Field and you saw it on the news, they invested a lot of money with our Park and Recreation Department to enhance Patterson Field, to expose young people to it. And what the Players Alliance is retired baseball players that's investing in young African Americans and minorities to participate in baseball. So we had big turnouts from all over the United States of America, as far as Oklahoma, Las Vegas, California. They came in and to participate in a sporting event, baseball game, softball for the females, baseball for the young men, home run derby on Friday night. So it was a big turnout, and they left us with some funds to help with some youth groups and some uniforms here in the city of Montgomery. And I want to present those checks with the council to the mayor's office and the Park and Recreation Director. Thank you. Thank you. We had one more presentation for Mr. Pruitt. He was the MVP of the ladies softball game. Y'all give him a round of applause. All right. No special committees report. Item number 1, Madam Clerk.
Mr. President, item 1, 6-month review of B Topspot, 1961 Bell Street.
All right. The owners of B Topspot, please come forward. And on item number 1, we have Ms. Pamela Metley.
Pamela who?
Metley. Ms. Riley.
Good evening, how you doing?
I'm fine, ma'am. How you doing?
Go ahead and tell me how everything's been going with the business.
Everything's been going fairly well. The time restraints has kind of been given a restriction on customers, the time that we're closing.
I need his name for the record.
Well,
Your name for the record, sir.
James Bennett.
James.
Bennett.
What's your last name?
Bennett, B-E-N-N-E-T-T.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm asking to lift the 11 p.m. closure restriction and allow me to operate till 2 a.m. My initial investment and business plan wasn't developed around being open, was being invested to be open around 2 a.m. These hours are affecting my bottom line and my ability to sustain at this point. The time restriction is adversely affecting our sales, employees, retention rate, and the potential customers. Due to the time restraint, we have had to refuse several large event requests to include the New Alabama State University Queen Coronation after event for her friends and her family. We are not able to retain some of the employees from our last location who could only work the late hours. This has affected their family, their livelihood, and the employee retention rate, along with the increased cost to train new employees. Many of my new customers who normally book for their special events with us are going to other places, such as event centers, because of our 11 p.m. mandate. August, we lost approximately $2,600 just off a single sale of a old customer that was wanting to have an event at our establishment. But again, since the time restraints, they went somewhere else. Many of our customers from Maxwell Air Force Base and some have asked for a Maxwell Gunner military night on a Friday, but we would love to accommodate them, but this market with 11 time restraint, we can't do that as well. Shift workers from factories, they're wanting to come to our establishment, but again, the hours are, don't allow us to accommodate them. I pay my taxes faithfully, and I follow the rules. And I feel like it's unfair that you got restaurants 10 minutes away from me that open past 2. 1048 Jazz, the Aviator Bar, the Alley Bar, the Statesman. So again, I just want an equal opportunity, just like we're giving all the opportunity to the other business in Montgomery. I'm a small business, and if you know anything about running a business, it's tough. And so when you put these restraints on me, it's making it tough. So I really am asking to allow me to change my hours.
Okay. Ms. Riley, you have any questions?
Not at
Any
this
council
time.
member have any questions, comment before I ask Ms. Metley, Pamela Metley? Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Hi. We actually have a business right up the street from Topspot, and so far we haven't had any issues with anything there. With the closing at 11 o'clock, they are doing that like they're supposed to, everything's gone. But we feel that if they're open later than that, because there are times that there is loud music coming from there, and I can hear it all the way on the other side of our neighborhood, excuse me, our neighborhood, and we have a lot of elderly people that live in our neighborhood and a lot of people that have to be up at like 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. And we just feel that the music issue and everything being that late, because in our neighborhood, the music is cut off at 9 p.m. There's no loud music after that, and we strictly enforce that. And that's, what we're concerned about is the noise and everything coming from the business.
Ms.
Ms.
Bennett.
Riley?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
got a question for you. Is there any way you can help tone the music down a little bit in that area so that they don't hear it down in their neighborhood area?
I can.
Okay. All right, Mr. President, only thing I'm gonna do is a restriction of 1 o'clock. because one thing we're trying to do is, we have an issue with security right now with our police force, and I'm just trying to make sure that every citizen is able to be represented and being taken care of. So at this time, I would like for their hours to be 1 o'clock for them to close, and other than that, I'm good.
Okay. Any other questions from any other council member? All right, Ms. Blaylock, you need an action from the council?
No, sir, I'll just make it part of the minutes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Thank you, Ms. Medley. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Item 2, resolution repealing the legislation which created Montgomery City County Personnel Board and expressing council's intent to adopt an ordinance creating a city personnel board in accordance with Act 2024-337.
Okay. Council, the resolution is before you. We have carried this item over for at least 2 months, so I'll just ask for an up or down vote.
Mr. President, before you call for a vote, can I speak to a couple of things on this?
Yes.
So forgive me for not being for the work session. I think there's something that, with the personnel board that's very important. When we first brought this up probably 3 years ago, the goal was to do this in conjunction with the county. The county has upheld their part of pulling out of the personnel system due to the inordinate amount of time that it takes to process applicants. One of the things that we've talked about here recently is how can we get better, more efficiency from our police department. Well, one of the things that we know is that our approach through the personnel board is a lot slower than it would be under Human Resources Department. Now, not this council, but with the previous council, we introduced that to our local legislative body, and that there seemed to be consensus both from the county and that council, previous city council, at the time. Our local delegation, has had several meetings with the county leaders, with the city leaders, and haven't really seen a lot of objection to this. At some point, I guess it became an issue. I was about to say a political issue. I'm not really sure why. It's really an administrative and organizational issue. One that we've been looking at to expedite both bringing on employees that we think will add value to the city at every level, in every department, but also being able to have that discretion when it's time to move on to another candidate, that we can do it without the encumbrances that were created in 1975. Certainly understand things have changed as it relates to organizational management since that time, and so that's why we asked for the change through the legislative body, which was voted and passed by a local delegation in a bipartisan fashion, to the personnel board. But I just wanted to highlight that because I'm not really sure, again, the confusion. I haven't gotten any meetings or had anyone who wanted to sit down and discuss this with me. But I think it's still in the city's best interest that we move forward with having an HR department. We would still maintain that board, if you will, of 3 people, but without under the current structure, if this is repealed, then the city takes on that cost. And the cost is about $1.7 million because the county has pulled out. So we'll be the only ones in this system as it stands. And so, $1.7 million is not something we want to just throw away. And I think in this situation, we would be based on what is needed, what's been studied, what's been discussed over the last 3 years with both the previous city council and this council. And again, ultimately, that cost to me is not a smart way of us investing money into the city for talent recruitment and retainment, and for us to be able to attract and have the most effective structure and organization that we can have. And essentially, for us to be the only ones left in this when the county and city both agreed to it, and the legislature heard from us and agreed to it without even hearing, for us to go back now and change it with a $1.7 million price tag to the taxpayers, I think is not a responsible way of using taxpayer and public dollars.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Mayor. Any questions?
Yeah, Mr. President, I had a couple of questions. One of the things that I think came up in a couple of conversations that we've had, and I've had with some of the other councilors, is not seeing actually what. So if you look back at the act that was passed by the legislature, it talks about December 1st being the deadline by which we're supposed to adopt the policies and procedures for this new system, and including the appeals board structuring for the new city's merit system. And so one of my questions would be is, obviously now we're in October, is that something that was going to be presented? And then I guess the question would be is, if that doesn't get passed by December 1st, because we're taking time to go through it and really stand this thing up, what happens if we, after December 1st?
Well, the council ultimately has to approve it, all the changes that we made to the city administration. So you would continue on with it to just be in violation of what the legislature has passed and has authorized us to do. But we do have the human resources information that is needed that can be presented, and we're ready to go once this issue is resolved. So we have that really ready. They're waiting on us and have been as we've had this discussion.
Okay. And the other question I had, just because I've been talking to a few people, and one of the things I was trying to understand from the legal side, but isn't there something, and this is just a concern, maybe misguided, but doesn't having an independent personnel board, when we have issues and potential litigation against the city from somebody who's going through that process, don't we kind of rely on having an independent organization to help defend ourselves when we're in that situation? And does this complicate that if we kind of bring this underneath the city's wing when we're from a more legal defense side?
As being the subject of a lot of lawsuits over the last 5 years, it hadn't stopped people from suing us. So you still have that. It's like any other entity. When you have the HR department, what it will allow us to do is really have a better checks and balances. As we see it, because of some of the complaints that we get from employees, many of them valid, it is a more effective structure and more modern structure, just to be blunt with you, than what the personnel board was created for in 1975. And it's like a lot of things that we've done in the city. We've looked at other cities in our state and other similar sized cities in our region to try to figure out what's the best way to address issues that we're having, again, around retention, around hiring, and around dismissals. And the goal would be to decrease, actually, the lawsuits that we have, because right now we burn a lot of time certainly going back and forth through the personnel department. But that board, if the city so desired, you can still maintain the board. So let's just be clear about that. If the city wanted to maintain the board, you can still have that appeals board. What we're really addressing is the personnel department and switching over to the human resources department, because again, just the efficiency is not there, and the county doesn't. The county's area is a lot different than ours, and I think they saw the inefficiencies of it, and we see it at a level that's at a factor of maybe 2, if not more than what they see. So that's the goal. But if the city wanted to maintain that board, you could still do that and have an HR department.
Mr. President, the last thing is that, I definitely, I want us to have efficiency in hiring. I want to see all of our city departments filled with great qualified individuals, and I've been back and forth on this issue just because I've heard from both sides, county side as well, understand some of their frustration and concern. I'm just worried that because we're not voting or reviewing the actual structure of what all this looks like, that we're agreeing to do this and then racing to December 1st to get all of that done as well. And so I just wanted to voice those concerns.
Councilor, if I can say one thing, we aren't racing to it. We've been in this process for well over almost 2 years. So for us, it has been a really, really thorough, dedicated process, as much as anything that we've done with, best in class entities, really guiding us on how to make the transition and why The goal is not only to be more efficient, but also to, really reduce the amount of lawsuits that we have, or reduce the amount of challenges that we have to dismissals by having a more effective system of human resources management. That is really the goal. So, the thought was that we would have been presenting all of those things to you probably back in the, late summer, kind of leading up to the December 1st deadline. But I don't think there's anything that says, if it's still under consideration on December the 2nd, that we can't continue to move forward with implementing a human resources department. I mean, you all are going to have to approve that. We can't do it without you doing it. So, the statute is what it is, but it's kind of like the speed limit. We got 30 miles per hour out there on Madison Avenue. We see people doing 40 all the time. Doesn't make it right, but it's just to say that we don't want to drag it on past December 1st, but we don't want to kind of force it down your throat either. We want everybody to be comfortable with it and understand it, even to the degree that we have to have some committee meetings, with you and other members of the council, as well as the public, and including those employees, then we can do that as well. But again, I do think that $1.7 million is significant, because with the county having already voted to pull out, that means we're on the hook for all of this.
All right.
Mr. President,
Mr. Mitchell.
with that being said, I'd like to make a motion to adopt.
Okay, have a motion on the floor to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
3.
All opposers have the same right.
Five.
All right, and extensions?
Okay. I'm missing one.
Yeah. We got 4.
Ms. Riley, how did you vote? You abstained? One abstention. The motion fails for lack of majority.
All right. Item number
Item 6, hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning property containing 1.0 acres located on the west side of Landmark Drive, 700 feet south of Atlanta Highway, from an Ag 1 to a B2 district.
All right, we're on,
Make a
you
motion
said
to
6,
adopt.
we're on item 3.
We gotta have a public hearing on this one.
Okay.
Hearing. Yes,
Okay.
but-
No. Okay, I think you
I-
said
item
6,
3.
but you meant 3. We're item 3.
Item 3. That's it.
I just read item 3.
But you said 6, that's why we jumped down. Okay, we got you. All right.
3.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak in favor of this item, please come forward. Owners of the property, item number 3. If you're in the audience, please come forward. Item number 3.
I've had a conversation with the owner.
Okay, all right. Mr. Jim Wright?
I'm good with it. So,
You're gonna close the public hearing?
Okay, the public hearing has been held. It's properly before the council. Yes, sir. Come to the microphone.
I just didn't know, I'm from 230 Landmark Drive, and just didn't know if I needed to say anything when you said anyone here in favor of this. I'm sorry, I may have misunderstood.
Yeah, anyone in favor or opposed to this item, please come forward. Okay, all right, the public hearing has been held. It's properly before the council.
I need his name.
Your name, sir?
Sure. Eric Lyons.
And he's for it. Yes, sir. Okay.
All right. Okay, the public hearing has been held. It's now proper for the close of the public hearing. The public hearing has been held. It's now proper for the council. Need a motion, Mr. Jim Wright?
have a motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Mr. Zemanski.
Y'all need to know what they do.
It's
This man
unanimous.
makes Bibles. The Bible with it. Good deal.
Item 4, ordinance authorizing mayor to execute aggregate contracts of $25,000 or less without council review and approval through September 2025.
Madam Clerk, I'd like to carry this item over to November the 5th.
Carried over.
Yes.
We carried it over 2 weeks ago, and when we carried it over, I haven't heard from anybody since over the last 2 weeks about this item. And one of the things I think that's important for us to point out is that part of
We
this.
just got an amendment, Mr. Samansky, so let's discuss the amendment. We can discuss it now, we can carry it over.
Well, sure, but my point is that.
The motion is on the floor to carry it over. Do I need to take a vote? I asked to be carried over to November 5th. Do you need a consensus of the council?
If I don't hear anything opposite that, is it consensus of the council to carry it over?
Well, it's not consensus of me, so.
Okay.
So you
He's
need me-
calling for a vote.
Okay.
But
All
I think
right.
it's, but, Mr.
Questions
President,
on the floor to call for the vote.
I would like to point out, because I'm offering up a substitution
Okay.
to this item, that
But we're
raises
asking
the
for a
number.
vote. We're asking for a vote on
Mr.
the
President,
carryover.
I'd like the opportunity to explain the substitution.
I
Because.
think we have a motion on the floor for a carryover vote. So the motion carries for a vote. So all in favor of the carryover, please raise your hand.
To carry it over?
Carry it over.
Yes.
Okay.
Just
Keep them up, keep them up. 6.
Okay.
So that leaves the one.
All opposed have the same right.
Ms. Beard, how do you vote? Ms. Beard, how do you vote? You vote no? 6-3, so the motion to table it to November the 5th carries.
Thank
So
you.
I just want to point out,
Item
Mr.
number,
President.
next item.
Item 5, 30-day review of Sherwood Apartments, 4921 Hatton Avenue.
All right.
Mr. President,
Ms. Beard, not Ms. Beard, Ms. Riley.
we're gonna have to carry this over because, the property manager wasn't able to be here, and the owner, is out of town.
To the
And,
next meeting.
To the next meeting, yes, ma'am, and I'm trying to get him to come in so we can talk to the owner, because the property manager said he can't answer those questions we're trying to get done.
All right.
Mr. President,
Mr. Mitchell.
I guess I got a question for Stacy, and my question is, Stacy, if they're on the litigation, do you actually think that they would show up to answer any questions in front of the council? Because they are part of the lawsuit that we have filed against, I think, Evergreen LLC. And did they come up last time, Ms. Riley? What
Well, they
happened?
sent their property manager the last time, but they did email and said that they will be in town if we could carry it over.
They may. I think we may have resolved.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
We have carryover. Next item.
Item 6, 30-day review of Brittany Gilchrist doing business as Crown Legacy Studio and Art, 3834 Harrison Road.
Mr. Samansky.
Ms. Gilchrist, I know that you're coming up for another agenda item for the license a little bit later on. Had conversations.
You take them together?
What?
You want to take that item while she's here?
Can I do that?
Yeah.
But it's new business on the other one.
We just-
All right, just come back at the next one.
No, I'm like, we can go ahead and take it now.
Is it new business?
Yeah, new business.
All right, well then come back then. Sorry, I'm learning how this all works.
Ms. Blaylock.
So
since-
are we.
Since she's here on item number, what number is it?
16.
16. We just skipped to that one while she's here, and we want to keep, and get away and suspend the rules with a public hearing.
Item number 16, it will still require suspension of rules because this has not been before the council.
Okay, I got you.
That's what I just wanted to make sure.
Do you want to take this one at this point?
No, we can
Yeah,
bring
we'll
that.
take both together then. Or,
Pardon?
yes, we'll take 16 now too.
Okay. What do you
All right.
want me to, what do you want me to show in the minutes on item 6?
That,
You're okay with it?
we're okay with it.
All right.
Call for number 16. Okay, item 16 is application for a rental hall doing business as Legacy Art and Studio, Dance Studio at 3834 Harrison Road.
Okay.
I just wanted to point out to the council, though, just before we voted on this, that we had conversations with the neighborhood association. I talked to Ms. Beard, who had a couple of comments for me. I think we've worked this all out. The one thing I think that's important, you're painting and doing like sip and paint type of thing, okay?
Correct.
Because we've had, some issues, the neighborhood is very concerned. So what I'd like to do is for the first 3 months, okay, if you would please have your doors closed by 11 o'clock, okay? By 11 o'clock for the first 3 months. make sure everything goes well. There's another place right next door that we're gonna be looking at as well, okay? But for right now, we're gonna move this thing forward. I know that it falls between the 1 point or the 2 mile, but I'm giving the, whatever the mechanism is to make it possible for you to get this. So 3 months to come back, and then we'll talk about whether or not there needs to be expansion. But, you know, for sipping paint, I feel like 11 o'clock is pretty fair. The neighborhood wants to make sure that their activity is not disrupted as well. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
Okay, all right. I have a motion to suspend the rules, but this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
Well, I have someone sign up to speak on that. Ms. Billy Crawford. Step to the side.
Good evening, I'm Billy Crawford with the Forest Hills Neighborhood Association. I did speak on this in July. We did have concerns about this. I still have concerns about it. We're still having loud music, lots of traffic. My concerns are the safety for the neighborhood. I guess my point tonight is I've asked questions, but I've not got any answers. And I know when an individual applies for a license, they have to have a prior receiving a business license. They have to go have an applicant with the ABC board. Nobody can tell me before y'all vote on it, do revenue have to see this before y'all vote on it? Or is this an after effect of getting your license and then you have your liquor license? Because I think that's a lot of the problem too, is we're seeing a lot of broken glass, not only in the parking lot, but over in the church lot. Businesses are, in fact, I have one businessman tell me he's ready to leave the shopping center. He has a business license. He has been paying business license for, I know, over 10 years. I hate to see somebody leave that is doing what they're supposed to do to somebody that has not done what they were supposed to do. Follow the rules. That's all I'm asking, is to follow the rules that you have set forth in your documentations, in your ordinance. That's what we need in our neighborhood, to make our neighborhood safe. I'm for business. My husband's a businessman. And I have people on my board that are business people. They pay their license fee. They do what they're supposed to on the ordinances. That's all I'm asking. Have a safe neighborhood. People that have businesses have a business license that is appropriate for their business. And if they are serving liquor, then ABC should have to approve them before they get a business license to do that. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Ms. Crawford.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And I think you're doing retail, you're doing beer and wine only, correct? So no liquor on the premises?
I have made my application out as well.
And one of the things I think is also important to point out is now with us giving you the license to do this, we now have something to take back if we have these issues ongoing. So we're going to monitor this, keep an eye. You'll come back in 3 months. As I said, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
Okay, a motion on the floor? Did we get a motion to suspend the rules? Yes. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
All right, Mr. Smith? Motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
7. Mr. Grimes, are you abstaining? Then the resolution carries.
Thank you. Good luck with your business.
Thank you.
And you want her to come for a review in 3 months, Mr. Szymanski?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, I need to ask the council about guidance for the liquor license. Do you want me to hold the application until they've made the application with ABC and brought it into the office? Yes. Or do you want me to hold the resolution for the event center until I hold the resolution until we get the application approved by the council? That means they won't, because you know it's a 10-day delay before it can come to council.
You can't have alcohol on premises
until they've been to council. So you want me just to hold this resolution until she's made application?
Yeah.
Is that the instructions of the council?
Right.
Okay.
Mr. President.
Ms. Beard.
Can I just ask a question right quick?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have someone else that's going to come back and wants an event center next door. And this Ms. Brittany here has been doing what she's supposed to, but we have the one next door that doesn't have the business license. So, what are we doing
I think the
about
one
that
that's
one?
gonna come back, and I think it was
Ms. Bell.
Ms. Bell, I think it's an amendment in the ordinance that we passed that it's the will of the council. So anything that comes before us has to have the vote of the majority to pass. So
Yes, sir.
we'll just address that at that time.
Okay.
From the council.
And
Thank you.
thank you.
Item 7, resolution authorizing an agreement between Montgomery Public Schools and the City of Montgomery supporting MPS Middle School Athletics Program.
That's the thing. Okay, this resolution is in agreement with the commitment that we talked about years ago, Mr. Pruitt, with the junior high school athletic that went away. The city's commitment to try to bring that back, so we brought that resolution.
Is it the same agreement? Is it the same? Are we trying to do the same thing that we did then?
Yeah, basically what we did back in the day when you played and I played and Mr. Mitchell played. So I think it kind of helped with youth involvement with our sports, where the city is going to come in to assist with MPS like we did with the coaches and kind of run everything to the community center. If Mr. Dean is here, you want to address it?
So we're going to fund the coaches' salaries now?
Yeah, say coach's salary and.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We'll be helping funding coaching supplements to that agreement with MPS.
You can't go back and coach though.
Supplements.
Yes.
All right, any other questions for Mr.
Yeah, Mr. President.
Ms. Beard?
Okay, on the community centers, Mr. Dean, who will own that community center? Is it going to be a city community center, the MPS community center?
That's a separate,
I understand, but I just need a clarification.
it'll still be discussed between the city and
Okay.
the MPS, yes.
Mr. President, I do have a question about the sports, Mr. Dean. So under this MOU with MPS, we'll be funding
Certain positions, yes,
certain
ma'am.
positions.
Yes.
Mr. President, Council, I just want to have a discussion, because I know I've asked a couple of times, but we still do funding towards different sports and athletics for uniforms and things like that. So how would that work? We're strictly doing just the coaches and leadership, like staff and fee payment.
Yes, we're adding
That's it.
funds to coaching stipends, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just want to.
Satellite camps, all those things that we
Okay.
travel.
Mr. President, I got a question.
Mr. Grimes?
Brandon, how about the equipment? Do they,
Nope.
no?
That's not through us, no, sir.
No,
Okay.
that's
That's
through
what I was just
MPS.
asking.
Yes.
They provide the equipment for this
Okay,
athletic
that's
program.
good.
No, they don't. We provide the equipment.
Who are we?
The council, when I know I pay for a lot of equipment.
That is something in the middle school. Now, you might give some additional money, but that is funded by MPS. Thank you.
Well, Mr. President, I want to remind this council, and a lot of them weren't on it, you and I were the only two people that did not want to give up the
Yep, the junior.
relationship with the Montgomery Public Schools and the junior high program. What happened was Mayor Bright dangled a large
Mayor
number out
Strange,
there and
Mayor
said,
Strange.
hey, we'll give you this money if you'll take the programs over. And guess what? The Board of Education jumped on it. CC and I said, please don't do that. And they took the money. And so I think this is a good thing for the city and for the public school system. I really do. I think it's a good relationship.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Mr. Mitchell?
I move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand. Did we get a suspension of the rules?
You don't need it on this one.
Okay, all right, move to adopt.
Unanimous, resolution is adopted. Item 8, reconsideration of resolution number 123-2024, application for a towing company doing business as D&D Towing and Recovery, 23 West Patton Avenue.
Ms. Riley?
Mr. President, I think this is the one that we have to carry over, Ms. Blaylock, because we didn't have a chance, they didn't call back right for the information.
I sent an email to them and I have not heard anything back from them.
Okay, I'll carry it over for 2 weeks. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Item number 9, ordinance regulating parking of commercial vehicles on residential property, option 1.
Mr. President?
Ms. Riley?
10 and 11, well, 9 and 10, we're gonna carry it over because of the discussion that we need to have.
Okay. Ms. Riley, what we will do with that, I don't think we need to have a committee meeting and put that in a committee. I think I got some calls or an email from code enforcement, and they want to sit down and talk and see how we can keep this ordinance to go back. So I think 2 weeks to get together with them to try to figure out what's next, what's our next step would be good. I appreciate you carrying that over. But on those items that you guys wanted to speak, I have Ms. Angela Esper and Ms. Phyllis Harvey Hall. Do you guys want to be carried over too for 2 weeks?
She said no.
Well, come on up if you want to talk. Put the 3-minute clock on.
Good evening to the mayor and to our city council, pro tem, and our president pro tem. I am Phyllis Harvey Hall, and I'm still here trying to get clarity on this particular item that we have concerning parking commercial vehicles on residential areas. And I do have the copies of the 2 options. I'm not sure when we start getting into the weights of these trucks. I mean, I don't know what a 9,000-pound truck looks like. I don't know whether that's considered the cab or the tractor of one of these large vehicles. But this has been the issue that we're coming for, because there are more and more people parking these vehicles in neighborhoods. Now, we have already an ordinance on the book. I think it is 27. It's about all 27 through 85 concerning parking of these commercial vehicles in all night. So I'm not sure if we need to amend something that's already on the book. Are we creating something especially new? I have many questions. Why is this becoming an issue when I think anyone who drives these big rigs know that they're not supposed to park them? I called a trucking company recently for one in my neighborhood, and I was told, what does your city have to say about it? Okay, so I think we've all known that you shouldn't do it. And I have another question. If we're going to put an ordinance, will it affect all 9 districts? Will it affect HOAs as well as neighborhood associations? So is it going to be something that we cross out and it can be done in particular neighborhoods and not in other neighborhoods? Because I think if we look at the people here, I don't think anyone wants these rigs when you get up in the morning and you're looking at this. We're already having trouble getting our streets paved in our neighborhoods. And we're asking these people to drive these big trucks to our neighborhoods now, and we are struggling to, I've had roads in my neighborhood haven't been paved in 15 years. So this is a problem when you're having this. And I think we need to address it more, look at the ordinance before we put something new. And is this because of one person who couldn't take his truck to a parking area? And my question to this is, and I thought is this, if you're too ill to drive your cab to park it, maybe you're too ill to be driving a truck on the road. So we have a lot of thought that we need to give to this, and it's not being harsh, it's just the facts. We are trying to preserve our neighborhoods. We're fighting. I think many of you ran on revitalization. This is not going to revive our neighborhoods at all. Thank you.
Thank you
for hearing me.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. All right, your name for the record?
Angela Exford. I'm with Self Johnson and South Montgomery Neighborhood Alliance. In 2022, our community submitted a proposal to the City Council in reference to commercial vehicles and asked the city to look at different areas in the city to have a lot for these particular big rigs in order for them to pay monthly rentals. Also, they will have security for their loads. They'll have to worry about someone breaking in and stealing their load that they're carrying, and with an option of transportation, like a shuttle to home and back to the lot. Well, it's been stagnant for now 2 years. Also working with code enforcement. I know the city council writes the rules, the mayor signs off on them. However, at the end of the day, it all falls on code enforcement. If we enforce the original ordinance, we wouldn't have a problem today. It's not being enforced throughout the whole city. I ride this whole city because I want to see what other neighborhoods look like. So when I ride and see the same issue our community has, we got a problem. Our streets are also crumbling. We have our roads, our pipes bursting on our street on multiple streets. I've been in my community for 32 years, and all of a sudden, during the last 3 years, we've had multiple road eruptions. That proposal would help everyone in this city. And like Ms. Phyllis spoke, what's good for one neighborhood is good for all. We are an inclusive city. We're not divided. What we need to do is enforce the rules we already have. If we enforce them, we won't have any problems. We don't have to keep coming back here reinventing the wheel, because at the end of the day, that's all going to reflect on us as a whole, as a city. We are a united city, and we have to work together for change. We talk about culture change. This is the way we're going to get there together in unity. So enforce what we have on the books. Because when we do that, others will understand. If you violate the ordinance, you will be fined, you will be towed out of the community. So if the HOAs don't allow it, no other neighborhood else in the city should allow it. So we need to go to work and ensure that code enforcement is out, writing these citations, and if they parked in their driveway, guess what? They had to drive on a residential road. We have prohibited signs at our entrances in our community, and we're still having problems. So we send it in, but at the end of the day, what is the city gonna do to enforce it? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Esther. All right, item 9 and 10 will be carried over.
Item 11 has been withdrawn. Item 12, resolution setting a show cause hearing for November the 5th at 5 p.m. for Club G's, 1187 West South Boulevard, as to why the business license should not be revoked.
Okay. The owners of Club G's, representative of Club G's, please come forward.
Yes, sir.
Now, y'all remember, this is not the show cause. This is just to set to adopt the resolution setting the show cause. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's not signed up.
Revenue, can you come up for me, please? Can I get someone from Revenue?
I think you bring that out in the show cause. You bring that out in your.
All right, I have a question. What's his last name?
Broad.
Mr. Broad, I have a question. Can you talk to me about some incidents? Well, I have gotten some complaints about some incidents that's going on in your club. I've asked you all to do security, to enforce your security. From my understanding, your security has not been doing an excellent job on enforcing what goes on. They're not protecting the clients that come in to patronize your business. And then when they're coming in to patronize your business, they're not, some are being shaken down, coming in, and some are not. So what can we do to make sure we're on one accord with everything we do in compliance with this club?
Hold on for a second. Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir.
We're setting show calls, right? This
That's
is not the
correct.
hearing, so we don't have to do anything but set a date,
Okay.
right?
We just need to set a date?
This is setting a date for November the 5th.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
We
so-
needed to just suspend the rules and then adopt this
Okay.
one, and then the discussion will be at November the 5th.
All right. Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Need a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
All right, Mr. Broughton, you have to appear before the council on November the 4th.
Yes, sir.
November the 5th, I'm sorry, November the 5th.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Item 13, resolution setting a show cause hearing for November the 5th at 5 p.m. for Echelon Grill, also known as Truth Barn Grill, 305 Airbase Boulevard, as to why their business license should not be revoked.
All right. We don't need any owners up here. Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 14, application for an alternative transportation service doing business as Barber and Associates, NEMT LLC, 2121 Marty Lane.
All right. Mr. Mitchell.
Motion
Wait,
is,
hold on, I think it's a public hearing. Yeah,
It's not a public hearing, but we need to hear from the owner,
yeah, the owners of
Mr. Barber, I believe. is here.
Farmer.
oh, I got a problem.
No, Mr. Anthony Barber. All right, I know I called your name. Your name for the record.
Anthony Barber.
All right. Any questions, Mr. Barber? Mr. Mitchell?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Item 15, application for a rental hall doing business as Gamey Day LLC, 3447 Mickey Road, Unit B.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello,
What's your name for the record?
Aisha Day.
Hey, Ms. Day.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Go ahead.
Motion to suspend the rules.
A motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
7. Are you voting, Mr. Grimes? Unanimous. The
All right, good luck with your business.
resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Item 17, application for a rental hall doing business as Columns at Knox Hall, 419 South Perry Street.
All right. Owners of Rakshanda Yasmin. Item number 17 on the agenda.
I spoke to him, but I don't think he knew he should be here.
All right, so what's the will of the council? Need a motion?
I'll go ahead and vote on it.
All right. Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
It's an event hall. Or a rental hall.
Mr. Grimes?
Mhm.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Council recognize you're giving him a religious exemption.
Yes.
All right, want to put that in the record?
I'm making that part of the motion.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Mr. Grimes, you
Right, I'm sleeping.
He's abstaining.
No.
Oh,
Are you abstaining, Mr. Grimes?
No.
You're a no.
Ms. Grimes, please stand and stretch.
7-1, the resolution carries. Item 18, application for retail beer, retail table wine off premises only, doing business as Eastdale Food Mart, 4000 Eastdale Circle.
All right, the owners of Eastdale Food Mart, please come forward.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name for the record?
Yeah. Akbar Mamdani.
You get that, Mr.? You get it off the recording?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Grimes?
It's a public hearing. You need to.
All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, the cut of public hearing has been held as proper for the council. Mr. Grimes?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Need a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Item 19, application for retail beer and retail table wine off premises only, doing business as Quick Trip, 1060 Eastern Boulevard.
Hello, sir. What's your name for the record?
Good evening. Brad McEvany for Quick Trip.
Okay. All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone would like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, the public hearing has been held as proper for the council. Need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt. Mr.
Motion
Bryan?
to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Thank you.
Item 20, application for retail beer and retail table wine off premises only, doing business as Chevron Food Mart, 2631 East South Boulevard.
Your name for the record, sir?
Piyush Patel.
Okay, got it. All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare it properly for the council. Mr. Mitchell.
Mr. President, move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Mr. Grimes? Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Item 21, application for retail beer and retail table wine off premises only, doing business as Tiende La Bendición, 4460 Troy Highway.
All right. Representative for Santiago. All right. Your name for the record, sir?
Santiago Aguilar.
Okay. All right. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare it proper before the council. Declare the public hearing has been held as proper before the council. Need a motion?
Mr. President,
all right.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Item 22, resolution reappointing Cedric Campbell to the Architectural Review Board.
All right, need a motion to suspend the rules for the remaining of the agenda.
Motion to suspend the rules and remaining agenda.
Mr. Grimes? I have a motion to suspend the rules for the remainder of the agenda. Please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Mitch?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Can we make a motion to adopt?
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 23, resolution reappointing Bart Prince to the Board of Adjustment.
Mr. Mitchell?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 24, resolution reappointing Keltrick McGee to the Building Code Board of Review of Appeals.
All right, need a motion?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Mr. Savansky? Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 25, resolution reappointing Franetta Terrell to the Community Action Committee.
Need a motion?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 26, resolution reappointing Kelly Lynn Gavin to the Museum Board.
Motion?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 27, resolution appointing Jacqueline Jackson to the Montgomery Clean City Commission.
Did they ever find an office?
Need a motion?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 28, resolution appointing Richard Jones to the Electrical Board of Adjustment and Appeals.
All right, need a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
All right, any council member have anything?
Mr. President? I had an ordinance that I passed out earlier about the hours of sale and hours of operation for establishment selling alcohol. I want to let them look at it, but I want to see about getting it placed on the next agenda item on the next.
Madam Clerk, you'll read it into the minutes and we'll carry it over for 2 weeks.
Resolution amending section 3-9, hours of sale of alcoholic beverages, and you're carrying it over to the next meeting. Okay. Council, I have contingency funds. Mr. Mayor, these have not reached you yet. They are all vendors for District 2, 500 to Glassner Autumn Challenge for the Bicycle Club. And for District 6, $1,000 to the Bellmead Neighborhood Association, $5,000 to Crime Stoppers, $2,500 to West Alabama Jubilee, $2,500 to Youth in Action, $2,500 to Manhood Inc., $1,000 to Fair Meadows.
Ms. Blaylock, can I do 5,000 to Mercy House?
Mercy House, yes, sir. Anybody else?
Ms. Blaylock, I had sent about Del Rey to PTA for 1,000.
For who?
Del Rey to PTA.
I I did not get that one, but you can make the motion from the floor.
I would like
How
to
much?
make a motion to give Del Rey PTA 1,000, please.
1,000. Okay,
Anyone else?
just a second. Mr. Mitchell has some that didn't make this way. How much? I need your mic. You speak in your microphone, please.
If you'll give me a second, I'm gonna have to go back through my email, Ms. Blaylock.
Okay. I apologize, but I did not see that.
Yes, ma'am.
I need a 3-minute timer, Ms. Blaylock.
Yeah, run that clock.
Ms. Blaylock?
Yes, sir.
I have them in front of me now. I think I have Bell's Mead Neighborhood Association, $1,000. Crime Stoppers.
Wait.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me the amount first.
$1,000.
To Crime Stoppers.
Bell's Mead. That's Bell's Mead.
Okay.
Neighborhood Association. $5,000. Crime Stoppers.
Okay.
2,500 West Alabama Jubilee. 2,500 Youth in Action. Oh yeah. 2,500 Manhood Inc. 1,000 Fair Meadows Neighborhood Association. Yeah, and I have one more, Ms. Blaylock. $2,000, Mr. Larkin's foundation. Tracy
Larkin Foundation, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mitchell, try to get those to Ms. Blaylock on time.
I did. I sent the email. I do apologize.
Thank you, Mr. Pro Tem.
We'll take it tonight, Mayor, but other than that, we're not going to take it anymore.
Thank you, Mr. Pro Tem.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
I apologize. I do have them in front of me.
Oh, my God. I'm bringing Brenda
We
some
just wanted to
pumpkin
hear
spice.
you recite them.
Thank you, Ms. Blaylock.
Pumpkin spice latte for Brenda.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, you okay with these?
Need a motion for approval?
Motion to approve.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
All right.
Mr. President, can I say something prior to the non-agenda?
Yes, ma'am.
While we still have everyone here, I wanted to first thank the Park and Recreation Department, Christina Gold and Brandon Dean, MPD and MFD, and the Botanical Gardens for seeing through my vision this past weekend. We did a Jazz in the Garden at Oak Park, and it was amazing. We had 586 attendees. It was an amazing turnout. We had a harpist, a saxophonist, some performances, and people really, the bread and butter of this was people really got to experience the Botanical Garden. It hasn't been invested in 10 years, but the last 3 years since I've been in office, we've heavily invested. That's myself and the Park and Recreation Department and other departments within the city to see that that Botanical Garden gets the attention that it needs. It's something that's a gem in the city, and the investment was needed, and we've given it, and I wanted to showcase that and highlight it and let the city know that it exists. So I'm excited about that. Second thing is, the mayor mentioned it's Hispanic, thank you, good night. Hispanic Heritage Month. And so on October 12th, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., it's gonna be free admission and open to the public, a Latino Cultural Arts Festival at the Nehemiah Center. It's open for the public to come out, so please come out and enjoy that. I wanna announce again that on October 9th, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., there'll be a grants workshop for nonprofit organizations at 25 Washington on the 4th floor between myself and the Community Development Department to just, again, talk to the community about applying for grants.
And last but not least, Mr. President, I just wanted to address, I've been getting a lot of questions about the Eat South and what was going on with that, so I just wanted to address that on the public stating that there was no herbicides used. A beekeeper came and they safely relocated the beehives. A plan for future vegetation is being worked out. And there's also communication between ADM and the city staff. I know the mayor and them can speak more to that, but I just wanted you all to know that that's been addressed and the city is working to continue to improve that area. But Eat South is being relocated. Between myself, Councilman Samansky, we've been working with Kyler more than publicly spoken, probably at least a little over 6 months on where she can relocate to. There's a couple of people that are willing to donate property to her and Eat South, and it's other options that the city does possess that we are looking into, because that property was not a safe property in the first place. That happened in the previous administration, had nothing to do with any of us. But that no one should have ever located a garden and farming near a train track. That was just poor planning. But we are working together to move forward with that, so I wanted to address that in a public stating. And that is it, Mr. President. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Ms. Riley.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Brandon, can you come up for a minute, please? First, I want to just say, District 4, we've been doing what we call a basketball with, that we partner with Park and Recs that we do on Sunday evenings. And Mr. Brandon Dean has tremendously stepped in to help us put this together that we do at Lovelace
and
McIntyre. We're going to be at McIntyre, and it's Sunday evenings from 2:15 to 5:15. And what we're also implementing in it is we're doing what we call Sunday in checkup. And that's for them to bring their children out so we can do check-in on their homework for them. So we're doing math and English check-in homework. So we have some tutors that are there at Lovelace and at McIntyre that will check the children's homework when they come in. We have about 150 young men that come out in between those two gyms and play on the evening time on a Sunday evening. Give young men something to do on the evenings and let them know we can collaborate together and work together. And we do have a team from Maxwell Air Force Base that's in, and we appreciate everyone who's participating in it and who's showing up. Also, this Sunday we will start voter registration. So we will be registering people to vote starting this Sunday at McIntyre and at Lovelace. So if you know anybody that need to get them registered to vote, send them out there, come watch the games, enjoy yourself. Fair, it's just good food, fun, and just a family-oriented, fantastic. We do have security. That is there the whole time that we are there. So it's from 2:15 to 5:15. You want to come out, come out. You want to do something on Sunday, and we're there. And that's Lovelace and McIntyre. We'll see you all there Sunday, and bring somebody out and register to vote if you want to. Thank you. And I want to just say thank you, Mr. Dean, for partnering up with us in District 4 for doing this.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. All right. In our public communication non-agenda items,